good afternoon, and welcome to Nairobi. Kenya is honored to host this historic launch of the Africa Health Leadership Ministerial Committee, and which is co-chaired by Nigeria and Egypt, represented here by Dr. Khalid, and Africa CDC, Dr. Jean Kaseya. Kenya is proud to provide the stage. The leadership belongs to the continent, and our gathering today is not just a mere gathering. It is a declaration that Africa is stepping forward as a co-creator of global health systems and not a passive recipient of decisions made elsewhere. We have faced crisis after crisis: COVID-19, Mpox, cholera, Marburg, antimicrobial resistance, climate change, and each one exposed the same uncomfortable truth. Africa's voices have been too often overlooked, our priorities sidelined, our access to vaccines and life-saving tools deeply unequal. At the same time, development assistance is declining and financing gaps are widening. We cannot keep confronting 21st century challenges with outdated global structures. Something has to change, and Africa must lead the change. Africa is not standing still. We have built Africa CDC into a cornerstone of continental health security. We are advancing the African Medicine Agency, investing in local manufacturing, and developing innovative financing. Kenya is implementing universal health coverage as a commitment and not as an aspiration. Through our Social Health Authority, we are building systems that protects the most vulnerable and reduces the burden of out-of-pocket cost. The Accra Reset and our recent engagement at the UN General Assembly, UNGA, has sent one consistent message: Africa must define its own priorities, Africa must finance its own future, and Africa must lead its own development. That is not rhetoric. It is the only path that leads to lasting, equitable health system on this continent. African Union has made a deliberate decision to position Africa as a co-architect in the reform of the global health architecture, not as a spectator, not as a supplicant, and at the 39th ordinary session of the AU in February of 2026, the member states established the Africa Health Leadership Ministerial Committee as a principal ministerial platform to consolidate and articulate a coherent African voice on global health governance reform. And for the first time, Africa has the architecture to match its ambition. Colleagues, let me be clear about what today is. This is not about negotiating positions. It's about building alignment, political ownership, and momentum for Africa-led, AU-anchored consultative process. Today is about results, practical, tangible progress for our people. Our priorities are clear. We want fair representation in global governance, sustainable and domestically anchored financing, equitable access to medicine and vaccines, local manufacturing and technology transfer, well-trained and equitably distributed health workforce, and strong, coordinated emergency preparedness. These are not new demands. They are long overdue. Kenya stands ready to work closely with the AU, Africa CDC, and all the member states to make the ALMAC a credible, dynamic, and result-oriented platform, one that drives action, amplifies Africa's influence, and translates political commitment into outcomes that people actually feel. From Nairobi today, let us send a very clear message to the world. Africa is organized, Africa is aligned, and Africa is determined to shape the future of global health. We will stand for equity, We will stand for sovereignty and for the multilateral system that is inclusive, fair, and responsive. I wish you a fruitful deliberations. Karibuni Nairobi. Asanteni sana.